Hey guys, so I'm gonna be honest. I already had a 1 minute disclaimer, and then I was like, okay, and then I'm gonna type some things so you guys can see that other disclaimer as well, because I was super angry when I made this video. You know, I was in my feelings. You know, Danny's my favorite character, and she was doing everything wrong but making out with Tony. Like, that's all she had to do, just kiss that nigga. That was just the icing on the cake. That all she had. So I was just going off. I didn't really appreciate the messaging of the episode either. It was weird. He was trying to make Andy okay with things that really don't matter and aren't really gonna do anything for her character. We also got a little bit of background on Andy, which I didn't necessarily mind, but it just kind of reminded me that, like, we've been watching these people for years and we barely know them. I brought it up with Sabrina as well, how they were like, oh, she can fight, and it's like, huh? Like, I know I made a statement about it seems like she could a couple episodes ago, but I just wanted to say here, I'm going to be very upset about this. If you enjoyed the episode, to make it even worse, if you like Tony and Jordan, I called Jordan Robin Light the entire episode, and it's not because I necessarily dislike him. If you think Tony and Danny are a good match, and do you think she should leave Preston, I'm not gonna say that I disagree with you completely, but I was crapping all over the beginning, end, and start that relationship. I dwindled the relationship down to the 3 things they have in common, which is taking a sip of that thing, taking a puff of that thing, and booming up to some bass, because that's really all they talked about. I just want to let you guys know this is a very high octane video. I had a lot of things to say, and I meant all of them, but I wish that I was a little bit more level-headed when I said it. But I still want to post a video because I think it's funny and I think I'll laugh listening to it. If you agree, please put it down below. If you disagree, please put it down below. I would say be respectful, but who cares? If you're too disrespectful, I'll just delete the comment. I just don't have the patience. This is a disclaimer before the video because I just need to explain some of what you're going to hear. So what upset me the most was Danny, obviously, for obvious reasons. I don't need to explain why Danny upset me. Here's what I will say. It is not that Tony is the wrong man for her, no matter how simple them being together would be. And simple in a boring way, not simple in a be with somebody who matches your energy way, simple in a boring way. It is that Tyler Perry dragged us along with Destin, forcing me to have hope in them when I shouldn't have, right? Because there are people who thought that Preston should have left Danny a while ago. I've never been one of those people. I thought around the corner that, you know, sometimes Preston deserved better. I was one of those people, but I still had a lot of hope for him and Danny, and I thought the idea of them was very interesting. I've even seen examples of them in real life, you know, girls that are super noir, community minded, with men of palm colored complexion who are very palm colored, community minded. Like, you can see them like on YouTube channels. There are real people who are actually like Danny and Preston. So I was like, oh my god, like, I guess what I'm trying to say is I was hoping Tyler would have shown that black women are not a monolith, and he refuses to do that. So I'm just gonna give up on that dream. And one of the reasons why I get upset with this show but continue to watch it, like I say a few times, is that I see the potential, and when he decides to crap all on that potential, I just get annoyed because I'm like, I see what you could have done here. I see where you could have taken these characters. And this is not to say he could have made this a show that would have won all the awards, and like, no. There are shows that I enjoy that I don't necessarily think need awards, but the way that they write the drama and the way that they write the characters are so good that I love those shows and I rewatch seasons, right? So for me, I was hoping that Sistas could do that. Didn't have to be perfect, but it at least had to make sense, and that's what annoys me. He doesn't make much sense to me. I will say there was something else that I said that might trigger people. I said that Tyler Perry is bringing his controversies in real life into the show with the bus scene and the "you best respect noir woman" speech that Jonah and his friends spoke, and I didn't appreciate it. And let me just say, it's not because in real life I don't want men of the noir complexion to put some respect on women of the noir complexion's name. I just don't want it to seem so performative. And I'm sure I said it in some shape or form in the video, but let me just say here, there is a way he could have written it so that we could see that Rich Tony and Jordan respect noir women in a very real way, without them being like, our coach taught us how to be a man, or else we would have been players in the street. And he told us to respect y'all, so we don't want him haunting us from the graves. We go, like, really? Like, I live on an island, right? I didn't have to be taught how to respect anybody. I just respect them. And even when people disappoint me, I was taught that you need to forgive, and you need to heal. Why don't we have a storyline about men of the noir complexion healing so that they can properly respect noir women, instead of having performative stomp the yard screaming poems from dead men who tried their hardest to lead those boys in the right way? I'm not crapping on the coach. I'm not saying he was wrong for what he did. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, I don't think that was the right vehicle to introduce these boys. I don't. I also think this season wasn't the right vehicle to introduce these boys either. The only boy I'm okay with is Rich. And that's because, like I said before, Sabrina deserves a new love interest. Jordan, he gonna need to grow on me. That's just the short version. And Tony, you know how I feel about Preston, so if it's gonna be Tony and Danny, that's fine, but I won't care. If Tony and Danny end up together, I'm done. My favorite character off, I'm finished. And I'm being serious, guys. Like, if that happens, like fully happens, like, I know there's going to be a lot of drama, and honestly, I'm not even looking forward to these next few episodes. But if Tony and Danny end up together, like, it's looking like, some people have said that these are the new roster of boys that are going to change out the old guard. And I'm like, oh my God. If that's really true, because it could be, and I'm not going to say it's not. If that's really true, I'm really going to have to remove my emotions from this show and just talk about the show like I'm talking about a news report, because who am I going to care about? Maybe Sabrina. Hopefully they give us enough of Rich and Sabrina that she will become my new favorite, and that coupling will be cute. Because honestly, that's all I care about. I don't really care about anything else. Andy confuses me. I don't know why she likes Jordan so much when Robin isn't gone. Like, there hasn't been a good explanation for Robin's leaving. Oh, Robin insinuated that I was a harlot. Okay. Gary has also insinuated that. Way worse. Almost killed you. And you kept going back to him. Robin did one bad thing, and you cut him to the curb so quickly. Now you're on to Jordan. Jordan can't handle you. Like I said, please watch the video and enjoy. Please take it as a joke. Laugh at me. It's fine. I was upset. I'm no longer upset anymore, which is why I came with a little bit more calmness. But Danny ruined the episode for me. I feel like if all the scenes with Danny were cut out, I probably would have had a clearer head and would have been able to talk more about, like what's going to be coming up with Zach, Fatima, and Karen, which is bubbling. But I couldn't even really focus on that at the time because I was so upset with what they were putting in front of my face with Danny, because I don't appreciate hypocrisy and cheaters, and Danny just became one of the biggest hypocrites in the show, right next to Karen. So I was just not feeling this episode very much, guys. You can disagree with me, no problem, put it down below. Just be respectful. I'm not gonna sound very respectful in this episode, but I'm not disrespecting anybody who disagrees with me. I'm disrespecting the way the writers decided to portray everything. So I'm going to speak about propaganda. If that pisses you off, click off this video. I'm going to be speaking about Tyler Perry and his controversies a tiny bit. If you don't care about that, click off this video. I'm going to be complaining about Danny. So if you really like Danny and Tony and you thought this was cute somehow, I don't see cheating as cute personally. Especially not when the person you're cheating on is a good person. Now, Andy, like let's say she was dating Gary and cheated on Gary, that's different. But cheating on Preston, that's not cute to me. So if you liked that, you're not gonna like this video. Okay, so you have been forewarned. This is a long intro, and I kind of summarized most of my thoughts. There were some things I liked, and I spoke about them briefly. But yeah, anyways, let's get into it. Alright, Sires. Hi, guys. Honestly, I've never really been the type to say, I might stop watching. Like, maybe I said it in the comments, like, as a joke, but you know, people are like, oh, I'm this close to not watch this. I've never said that, because even if I don't agree with it, which is most of the time, I know I watch it for the drama. But there just comes a time where it's like, if Tyler is going to be putting propaganda into his stories and bleeding in his own personal controversies that happened just a month ago into his stories, I'm over it, bro. You really gonna sit here and have the bus driver debate in the middle of this TV show? What happened to doing black women right? Because you know, women of the noir complexion complain about Tyler Perry. Okay, they do. They talk about how, you know, his movies and plays were fun, but when they look back at especially the movies, they see how he portrayed us. They see how Medea is a caricature of a noir woman, right? And people really get on him, and I don't really join those conversations because they're not wrong, but I'm just trying to see his entertainment as entertainment, you know. But the theme of this episode, the themes and the parts that I actually enjoyed upset me, because I should not be enjoying Fatima and Zach and Hayden and Gary. That should not be the parts of the show that I'm enjoying. And Karen and Pam, those are the parts of the show that are giving me enjoyment, because I can't stand to see two of the least problematic characters. No, well, let me not say least problematic. My favorite characters, Sabrina and Danny, because I just couldn't wait for those scenes to be over, because you were just doing too much. Fine, let me leave the propaganda talk. There are other discussions that we need to have about those stupid scenes. Disclaimer: these people are not real, but the propaganda was. I'm just gonna be passionate because I'm upset. I didn't like this episode at all. I saw people saying this episode was boring, and I'm like, it felt like it went on for very long. And if that's what boring denotes, then I guess it was also boring to me as well. But I've never been bored and aggravated at the same time. Tyler, brilliant of you. As usual, Tyler, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know, and I don't appreciate it. I don't like what I'm seeing. But you know what? We're here. We're living and we're live. So we're going to talk about what upsets me, and then we're going to talk about what I did not mind. The dates were stupid. So let's talk about Wannabe Robin. At first I liked him for 5 seconds, and then I realized that Tyler is trying to push a narrative that doesn't really make sense for these characters. Is Andy bougie? Sure. Does she need to change that? I don't know. Why did you give her the option of the poor guy at first, right? She says no to that nigga, right? Then you give her the option of the exact opposite, right? Which is Robin, right? Then you just throw him out of the show because apparently Gary is too much for him, maybe supposedly. And now she's here with the baller guy, right? I can't even remember his name, and I don't care. I'm just calling him Wannabe Robin, and y'all just gonna have to deal with it. I really don't even care to be corrected in the comments. She'll say his name in the next episode. I don't care. I wish that this episode was more about. Alright, let me be honest with you guys. There were some keywords that were said that were like, ew. I dry heaved 3 different times watching this episode. The makeshift bros going off about their speech, about how they're going to respect women of the noir complexion. I was just like, Tyler, what? Why do you have to say that verbatim? And I know that part of him feels like he has to say it because it's not said as often as it should be. But you're supposed to show in this show's writing that the men that you are going to leave them with respect women of the noir complexion. You don't need to have cringy dialogue where all these men look like they were overacting. Rich was the least overacting, right? Wannabe Robin overacting. Dumbo aka Tony overacting. right? And that just lessened the impact of that moment for me. Like, I was just like, okay, ugh. Let me just get to what angered me the most. Danny, you're a cheater, and I don't appreciate you right now. Danny is my favorite character. She is. Even through all of the nonsense that she has done, and I've called her out on all of her nonsense because I hate hypocrisy, she's fallen down. My favorite character at this point right now is Fatima. Ooh, not Fatima. Sabrina, Fatima, and then the list goes down. Danny, you're off. You're off. You're off. The pedestal I put you on, I remove you. I cannot believe you went this far. Every time they would just like show a little bit of her and the guy, like before they had their talks, like when Rich was talking to Sabrina and they showed the guy giving Danny his jacket, I wanted to throw my computer off a cliff. Danny, if Preston did this, you would throw a fit. You would throw a giant hissy fit. I cannot believe you sat there and you had drinks with this man, sat beside this man every chance you could get, let this man hold your hand, let this man put his arm around you, let this man buy you a flower, let this man put his jacket over you. That sounds like a date. And you know what? All these men were acting like 15-year-olds. Let's ride the bus together. Let's ride the bus together and have fun. You know, we can just chit-chat on the bus together. And then the bus man kicks them off because, you know, they weren't going anywhere specific. And they're like, come on, the night is young. Go, DJ. Like, what? What? These are all grown women that have been through so much. What happened to resting? And I'm not going to call them corny. I'm not. Because that connotates that them not being toxic is akin to being corny. What I didn't like was their cringe. Their cringe is ridiculous. And Danny, I'm not going to get off you. Because I was mad at Tony. I was calling him Dumbo. Like, y'all heard me. I was calling him Dumbo. I was mad at him. I called him a stalker. But you know what? That was hypocritical of me. And I'm going to call myself out. Because I was here protecting Aaron, saying that he's not a stalker. It's just romantic comedy stalking. All the guys do it. So you know what? It's fine. Tony, you're off the hook. You can be a dog, because you're a dog going after a woman who is taken. You heard everything that she's been through. You probably even heard everything she's been through with Preston. And you still decide to walk up on her? You're an idiot. Because if she leaves Preston to get with you, you're going to lose her the way that you got her. Why are people so dumb? Why do you think that you can steal somebody from somebody else and nothing is going to happen to you later on? What is this? An old black love movie? I'm sorry, guys. This is probably the most actually upset you've ever seen me be actually upset. I felt so emotional because I felt so bad for Preston. And I have to apologize to Dumbo, to Tony. I was hating on him. And I meant everything that I said, but I don't think there needs to be any hate behind it on my account. He's extra, but it's Danny. Danny is the one who is okay with all of this. And I don't understand why. I don't get it. And I spoke about this in the last episode, so if you want to hear my more abundant thoughts, go to the last episode, where I understand to a certain degree the allure of this couple for some people. The allure of finally somebody who's exactly like Danny. You know, likes to drink, likes to smoke, like hip-hop music. That's it. That's it. That's it. They don't have anything else in common. They like to drink. They can drink each other under the table because you saw Tony's friends were giggling like, oh, she thinks she can drink more than Tony. Okay, fine. He can drink, he can smoke, and he likes hip-hop music. Sounds like a nigga to me. What? And this is not a stereotype, okay? Danny likes to act like a stereotypical black woman who shouldn't be treated like a stereotype of a black woman. Well, Tony is a stereotype of a black man. So they're just a match made in heaven on paper. Why, Tyler? Why? I've been seeing headlines of people saying Preston should just go. And I didn't watch the videos, but I knew that it wasn't malicious towards Preston. I know that they don't hate Preston. They just feel like Danny is going to disrespect him, number one. And number two, they feel like with this Tony guy here, they don't really care to see Preston fight over Danny like this. Like, he should just leave and then Danny can have her little noir love moment. Who cares? Danny, you're not my favorite character anymore. I said what I said. okay, if Tyler decides to do what I was hoping, which is that he's just using Tony to get Danny some character development so she can be right for Preston. But I don't think so. I'm still having that in the back of my mind. I still have hope because I love Danny. But my God, girl, are you dumb? She literally said to him that he's too good to be true. Why would you say that to him? What? The first date? You tell him he's too good to be true? He says you're pretty and you're strong because he's been listening in on your phone calls and you just go weak at the knees? You smiling and giggling and laughing? I guess that means I could pick you up then. I could say all of that. I know everything as well as he knows everything. Anybody can pick you up? What's the difference between him and like IT stripper? Because I thought IT stripper was hella attractive. And I thought it would have been really interesting because she was taking a break from Preston. And I was like, well, she's going to take a break from Preston. This guy's cute. But no, she kept on saying no to this guy. This guy could not do anything right. This guy was super smart, super intelligent, had a business on the side. But it's almost like him being a stripper was just too much for her. She's, like she was putting on the spirit of Sabrina and Andy, like, oh no, I'm too highbrow for that. And that's not a problem, right? But now you're just gonna date somebody who works at your airport? As if the men at your airport have a great track record. Guess who worked there? Zach and Q. That's not a great track record of men. I don't care if you like Fatima. We all know Zach wasn't ish in the beginning. Men who work at that airport are not good men to deal with. So no, I don't care. And let's talk about Rich for 5 seconds. I saw a headline saying that Tyler missed the opportunity to put the guy from the Bros, because Rich is an actor who's acting in the Bros, the female version of, the male version of Sistas. Why did he do that? Why is this guy playing a whole new character? I agree. Why? Like, those men in that show are having up and down relationships the same as these women. They could all be halfway single in that show just like they are in Sistas. I don't know. I haven't watched any episodes since like the first half of the first season. But I know their ships are not doing well. So you could have brought Rich from Bros and put him in this show. Why did you have to make him come on the show and then add in 2 other unrelated niggas? Huh? What? I don't understand that. But whatever. I wish that this episode focused more on Sabrina. Because it annoyed me how much it focused on Danny. And how disrespectful Tony was towards Preston. And I'm not saying disrespect like he owes Preston anything. But just like the way he was like, oh, I know you're not happy with him. We have more in common than him and I have in common. And before y'all say he didn't say that, he alluded to that. Every conversation they have had, as soon as she brings up that she's with Preston, he'll say some snide remark. And now poor Preston in the previews is wondering what's going on, because since when does Danny rush to go to work? And I saw the picture I posted in the last video of them bucking up in the airport parking lot. I'm not excited for that. A lot of people are saying that Preston should go. I think Tyler Perry should have better sense. That's what I think. Why are you bringing Danny and Preston through this? And I said this before. The idea of Tony is not bad. I don't mind Danny being with somebody who has something more in common with her, but it's too late. It's been too many years. That's my problem. If you had at least by season 3 introduced him, fine. I would have had more time to let Preston go. But you cannot sit here for almost 7 years building up the tension with her and Preston, even giving both of them minor character development, and to throw this guy in here for what? I don't like it. And I've been talking about this for too long, so you guys get the overall point. We move on to Andy. I don't like the bus narrative. I like they forced her to go onto the bus and how they felt like she was so bougie when they realized she has a Rolls Royce. I thought that nigga had money. He did pro ball, did he not? Why are you acting like, ooh, a Rolls Royce? Did you not see the dress she walked in here with? She walked in with a dress that looked like the top half was for the Met Gala.
What, like, come on, Diet Robin Light, come on now. This is why I said he's not going to be able to handle Gary. He just, and this is not to say that Gary is better than him. Gary is not better than him. But Gary is a manipulator, and he will force his way into certain situations. And I can see him bulldozing this nigga completely. Which is one of the reasons why, you know, when Gary tried to plant the seed that that Andy was a hoe a couple years ago, and Robin fell for it, that upset me because I know Robin is stronger than that. And of course, obviously, he realized that Gary was trying to paint a narrative, and he got over it. But I feel like Robin Light is more susceptible to that sort of effery. I don't really appreciate that. I don't know. I just wasn't feeling the vibes between the two of them, and this is not because I want to see Robin. I feel like if I ever say that I want to see the girls with somebody else, it's because I'm not feeling the vibe between them and whoever they're with. I'm feeling something. It's small, but I'm feeling something between Rich and Sabrina. This is why I never really thought about Calvin unless I was laughing at the thought of him seeing Sabrina on a date. But when I saw Danny and Andy, I kept thinking about their prior relationships because I thought, I'm not really feeling it. They have more chemistry with the other men. And I feel like that's just my truth. I'm sorry. I can't be convinced. I don't, there's nothing you can say in prior episodes to change my mind. I was rooting for the little guy. Didn't think he was going to be able to beat Gary, but I was at least rooting to see some real chemistry between them. However, there's still time. I still prefer him to Gary, so I'm not saying no to him, but he needs to do better. I don't like the peer pressuring, like, do it. What is this? American Pie? Is this American Pie? And I love the American Pie series, but like, I'm not watching American Pie, so what is this? Okay. Like, if Andy didn't want to go on the bus, don't go on the bus. Obviously, Andy's the type of person that has been through the dust. She had the ramen in college. Like, she struggled. And she don't want to struggle no more. It's one of the reasons why she has that complex where she only dates men of means. It's why, even though Robin was a great person... why do I keep saying Robin? I'm missing too much. Even though Paris was a great person, she cut that off quickly. Because Paris was not up to code. So... up to code for her, guys. Obviously, I'm talking about her standards here. But man, I just wanted to see more of Rich and Sabrina. I feel like the relationships were dragging the episode down and annoying me and making me, like, I had a stank face through 70% of this episode. Stank. I couldn't even enjoy what they were putting there to make me enjoy about the date, because too much nonsense was going on. I'm gonna say this right now. Danny's a cheater. Yeah. Danny's a cheater, and I don't like cheaters. So she gonna have to work to get my respect back, because it's all gone now. It's all gone now. Sorry. And Andy, you gonna say all this, but when Gary put the pressure on you, what you gonna do? What are you gonna do, for real? In better news, they had a scene where they were like, oh yeah, Sabrina can fight, da 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 da. And I alluded that Sabrina got that dog in her a couple episodes ago. I think it was when Fatima pulled up in Karen's home. Yeah, I think that episode. But it's kind of similar to when I say they try to make Andy look smart. I can kind of believe that Sabrina can fight because they showed a little bit of tendencies, but still, it's kind of like, you're going to do a little bit more character development before I fully believe it, you know? Because this is the first time the girls have said it as well. You know, it's one thing for you to bring guys in and for them to act really weird or whatever, but when I've been watching these girls for years, the dynamic should already be formed. I should not be learning new things about Sabrina in season 6 of Sistas. That doesn't make any sense. Why am I learning something new about her this season? I've been watching this girl for over 5 years. The dynamics of the friendship should already be solidified, and they should be fixed. Okay. The one thing I will say about the triple date that I did like, because there was one positive, is that Karen was not a part of it, and they seemed to have a more positive time. It is very much showing that the girl should really cut Karen off as a friend, and Karen should go on her own journey to find herself and be a better person, and those girls should be able to find themselves. I also, even though I'm mad at Danny, I still think that she should become friends with Fatima so she can know what an actual friend is like. Yeah. Because none of those girls, I just think it's really funny, they were all for Preston, right? When she was making all the wrong choices in men, they were like, but Preston's pretty good. But because now we have a man of the noir complexion, who? Press the clothes? Press on nails? What? Pressed on? What's that? Trash. Absolute trash. Basura. Baka. Absolutely not. I keep going back to that because guys, it really just hurt my heart. It hurt my heart. I weep for Trinity's character because Tyler Perry, he just can't seem to like steady that. He doesn't seem to know what he wants to do with that. And I know I said that maybe this thing with Tony is just happening to solidify Destin. But Tyler loves to make it, let's say that's true, right? It's just a solidified Destin. It's just a bump in the road. Tyler will make a bump in the road look like a pothole. Just so you get worried and upset. And then be like, tee-hee, kidding. That's not good writing. Either you establish it so that you worry a little bit, but you are still hopeful that this too shall pass, or you make it clear that this might not pass. We might just be stuck in this pothole named Tony for a while. You make that clear. You don't try to confuse people for plot convenience, Tyrone Perry. I was giving you props these last few episodes, trying my hardest to be nice. But this episode, I feel like you just disrespected Women of the Noir complexion in a stealth way. Like, you know, like in Pirates of the Caribbean, when Jack Sparrow says, I lie by telling the truth. Tyler Perry disrespected Women of the Noir complexion stealthily by trying to respect us overly. But the undertones of his narrative were disrespectful, in my personal opinion. You can disagree, but it's just my opinion. Let's get out of those dates because, pissed off. It's not even. Let's go to the thing that made me laugh. MVP of the episode is Hayden. If I remember to, I will post the clips of him calling him and Gary pathetic because it's the truth. Hayden just realizing now who he is and calling Gary out, best part of the show for me. I loved it. I loved every second of it. I actually enjoyed it. Gary actually made me laugh, and I hate you for that, Tyrone. Why are you making me laugh with a joke that Gary made? Look, when Gary he trolled Hayden pretending to be Tamara, I was like, first of all, Hayden, that makes you look bad, because how come you don't know what that girl sound like on the phone? But second of all, that was kind of funny, Gary. That was kind of funny. I'll give you that. That whole sequence was just hilarious, and it was just meta. And it was just true, and it was just right, and it wasn't long enough for me. So finally, for once, you made Gary the relief, and it didn't annoy me. Well, I guess for Gary not to be annoying, everybody else has to be annoying, which just kind of shows how annoying Gary can be. But it is what it is. The scenes with Zach and Fatima seemed like they should have been in a whole other show. What was this empire ass crap that we saw in the beginning of the episode? Zach goes in mollywhopping the nigga, then the nigga's cronies, goons, run up and start mollywhopping Zach. Then Fatima pulls up collect with the glizz, fires off a pop, calls her cousin, checks them. They go downstairs with the kid, and then a gang of niggas pull up with baseball bats and go upstairs. Tyler, come on. I was waiting for the after effects. I was waiting to hear the sounds of the niggas screaming and have Zach shock face be like, ask for the 25th time, Fatima! What's going on back there? Fatima! look, that was funny, but I just felt like it was so out of place. I know that it's not technically out of place because we've gotten the backstory that she's from a mafia family almost, and I think her cousin has a show. I didn't realize her cousin had a whole show, because I've seen the cousin's face before, but I didn't realize that was like the show she was on was like her actual show. So I guess it's not out of place, but it just seemed out of place for Sistas. Like, she really just calling it. And this is why I said Karen should watch her mouth. Okay, this is not to say, yeah, Karen should watch her mouth, okay? Because you do not know who you're messing with. But yeah, like I said before, I don't necessarily have so much sympathy for Zach. I have sympathy for Zach's son. I don't have sympathy for Zach, okay? I really don't. I think the fact, like, Fatima, I still think you should leave. Like, I don't think... I just saw so much potential for Fatima with Zach. And then once I realized that Zach really wasn't worth it, I started seeing all the potential that Fatima could have outside of Zach. And it just makes me feel sad. So I'm just going to move on because we're never going to see that dream realized. Since we were talking about Karen needing to watch her mouth, she's over here enjoying life without Aaron, but realizing she ain't got no groceries. Pam calls and rightfully tells her that she should probably call Aaron. Well, let me not say rightfully. She don't need to call Aaron, but Pam and her have a discussion. It was stupid. It was whatever. It didn't annoy me. It's fine. She goes to the supermarket, sees Zach and Fatima, commences to be petty. Zach decides to walk away. She pulling up on him. Girl, you're a liar. Pretending that this baby is Zach's. You're being delusional. Okay? A lot of people are now seeing that you're having a hysterical pregnancy. And I can't even fight them on that because... knowing Tyler, she could have been pregnant at one point in the narrative and then he just decides to change it last minute. I heard some people saying that he has more people in the writer's room. And I can kind of tell because sometimes the acting is better, almost like they have a better script to work off of. But other times I can see the points where Tyler Perry had a lot to do with the scene. So he's still a little too involved for me, in my personal opinion. Not saying he has to stop writing entirely, but if I can literally tell that, yeah, he probably wrote this sequence or this scene, then there's a problem. Because if I can tell Tyler Perry wrote this scene, it's not usually a good thing in Sistas particularly. Who else do I talk about right now? Oh yeah, Maurice feels vindicated, or at least that's how it appears in the previews, because now Obiwe is about to revoke bond. I stand by Obiwe's. It's not me calling Obiwe Bio. I stand by Bio for that. Was it kind of wrong of him to want to date her and pay for it? Sure, but he's a prince. There's a level of privilege that comes with, let me throw my money around and get these women. Like, even though he's not, like, he doesn't have a harem, but like, he's still about that pretend to be broke then throw money lifestyle, like that, you know. Maurice, I was just giving you your tens. Don't have me revoke it. He said he doesn't like your personality, and I agree. Okay? We know deep down you're not that bad of a person, but you need to fix yourself. And I will always agree with him on that. Okay? Wow. I was upset, I was screaming, and now I feel empty. I'm not even looking forward to the next episode, guys. This is like the first time in a long time I ever felt like I might actually stop watching this show. There was a time when I did stop watching just because I got bored. But now I feel like I might stop watching because I don't want to feel like this. I don't want to come on here and scream at you guys because I'm upset with the narrative that Tyler Perry is putting and the storylines that he's deciding to drop. I don't want to do that. Here's what I wanted. I wanted Sabrina and Rich to be something that started out beautifully, similar to how Preston and Danny started, something that I could look forward to and enjoy, not something that got marred by Danny cheating and Andy and Robin Light being subpar. I didn't appreciate that. I still don't really appreciate Karen dumping Aaron like this. I really don't, but I get it. It's fine. I don't really appreciate Fatima. You know, she doesn't even really want kids, but because everything is so dire and traumatic, she she's becoming all maternal and stuff. Like, there's no new narrative. Like, I know the other sisters probably want kids, right? It would have been so interesting to see Fatima as like maybe the one sister who didn't want a kid and got married and didn't have one. It would have been cool for Tyler to show different types of black women, you know, showing that we're not all a monolith. But no, just drama and noir love, I guess. Please let me know what you think. Please be respectful, because you can be if you want to. I will watch the next episode. It's Sistas Saturday. Honestly, I felt like with my new editing style, I could have posted videos faster, but with this one, I don't even care to post it immediately. I will be posting this on Saturday. I will also be making videos about Invincible. I'm gonna say this now, so I have to make the video. Yes, because this channel is not just a Sistas channel. This is a commentary channel. Obviously, I hope Invincible will put me in higher spirits. I'll also try to make videos about Gen V. Also, let me know what shows you guys would want me to watch and make videos about. I might do it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next video, and enjoy your weekend. Goodbye, my sires. Sue.